Hey, hey, stories of the Soul Fam. We've got a swoon-worthy love story for you today. Let's jump in and tell us. Wiped his hands nervously on the faded fabric of his jeans as he stood outside Candy S. Father's grand estate. The mansion loomed before him, its marble columns and sparkling chandeliers visible even from the front gate. He wasn't supposed to be here, not in these clothes, not with his empty wallet, not with nothing to offer but his love. But he had made a decision. Tonight, he would ask for Candy's hand in marriage. Candy believed in him. She always had. She told him his dreams of becoming an artist weren't foolish, that one day his canvases would hang in galleries instead of cluttering the tiny apartment he rented above a mechanic-s shop. Her smile had been the light that kept him going when the world mocked him for having nothing but ambition. He stepped through the tall front doors. A butler greeted him with the kind of disdain Luke had grown used to, then announced him with a sharp voice. "Sir, Candy's guest." Luke entered the glittering dining room. Crystal glasses sparkled on the long mahogany table. At the head sat Mr. Bonham, Candy's father, a man whose empire stretched across real estate, oil, and luxury hotels. His eyes were sharp, his suit tailored to perfection, his posture radiating power. Candy sat near him, her face lighting up when she saw Luke. She whispered, "You came." "Of course," Luke said softly, his heart pounding. Mr. Bonham set his glass down with deliberate force. "So, you're the boy who thinks he can marry my daughter?" "I'm not just thinking about it, sir," Luke said, steadying his voice. "I came here to ask for your blessing." Silence filled the room. Then, unexpectedly, Mr. Bonham laughed. It wasn't a laugh of joy, but one of mockery. "Do you even hear yourself?" he asked. "My daughter was raised in silk sheets, wearing diamonds before she could walk. And you? What can you give her? You fix engines, you paint pictures no one buys, you ride the bus, you want my blessing." Luke swallowed, but he refused to step back. "I love Candy. I'll give her a life of respect, honesty, and joy. Maybe I can't give her everything money can buy, but I can give her everything money can't." Mr. Bonham's smile vanished. He leaned forward. "Listen carefully. If you want my daughter, you'll take a job in my company starting tomorrow. I'll pay you a proper salary, dress you in proper suits, and train you to become a proper man. Do that, and maybe I'll consider giving you my blessing. Otherwise..." He snapped his fingers. "Leave her. Forever." Candy gasped. "Dad, that's not fair." Luke looked at her. His chest burned with a mixture of anger and sorrow. He turned back to Mr. Bonham. "Thank you for the offer, sir, but I can't take it. I have my own dream and I won't sell it, not even for your blessing." "Then get out of my house," Mr. Bonham said coldly, "and don't come back." Candy leapt up, tears in her eyes. "Dad, stop controlling my life. I love him." "Money doesn't matter." "Oh, money doesn't matter," Mr. Bonham sneered. He gestured to the diamond necklace at her throat. "Say goodbye to this, and the designer jacket, and the world you live in. If you run to this beggar, you'll lose everything. No cars, no clothes, no fortune, nothing." Candy's lips trembled. She glanced at Luke, who reached out a hand. For a moment, she stepped forward, then froze. Her father's voice thundered again. "You'll come back, crying, begging. I'll wait." That night, Candy left the mansion with Luke, but her heart was torn. She loved him, yet she feared the harsh world without her father's safety net. Weeks passed. Mr. Bonham, furious that Candy hadn't returned, devised a plan. He arranged a meeting with Jordan Bond Jr., heir to another vast fortune. At a lavish dinner, he introduced Candy to him. "Darling," he said, smiling tightly, "meet Jordan. He can give you the life you deserve. The kind of life your so-called artist could never even dream of." Jordan was handsome, polished, and arrogant. He leaned toward Candy and said, "We'll have our wedding on the Caribbean islands. Think about bathing in gold, darling." Candy recoiled. "Excuse me? Wedding? I don't even know you." Her father's face hardened. You will know him, and you will marry him. Candy stood, trembling with rage. No, Father, I won't. I don't want gold or fortune if it means living without love. I'd rather walk away from all of this than spend my life with someone I don't care for. She stormed out of the mansion. For the first time, Mr. Bonham felt fear that his daughter was slipping away for good. That night, as the mansion fell silent, Mrs. Bonham confronted her husband. She held up a small box. Inside was a rusty nut, the first ring he had ever given her when he was a mechanic with nothing to his name. "Remember this?" she whispered. "You proposed to me with a piece of metal because you couldn't afford a real ring, and I said yes. Not because of what you had, but because of who you were." Mr. Bonham looked at her, his pride cracking. "You've forgotten what love really means," she said. "Dante do to Candy what you once begged me never to let happen to us." Her words cut deep. He remembered the young man he used to be, poor, mocked, yet full of dreams. He had fought for her love despite her parents' disapproval. And now he was repeating the same cruelty. The next morning, Luke knocked on the mansion door. He had something to say, something important. Mr. Bonham met him at the door, expecting defiance. But instead, Luke bowed his head. "I came to apologize," Luke said quietly. "I know I've been stubborn. But the truth is, I'll never stop loving Candy, and if you can't accept me, I'll respect that. I just hope someday you'll see I'm more than what I own." Mr. Bonham stared at him, speechless. He saw sincerity in Luke's eyes, the same sincerity he once had when he had nothing but a dream. And then Candy appeared. She had returned that morning, her face tired but hopeful. "Dad," she said softly, "I love him. Please don't make me choose between you and Luke." For a long moment, silence hung in the air. Then Mr. Bonham's shoulders slumped. "I was wrong," he admitted. "Love is worth more than money. If you both truly want this, then you have my blessing." Candy gasped and hugged him tightly. Luke extended his hand. Mr. Bonham shook it firmly. As joy filled the room, Luke smiled shyly. "There's more good news. Remember that exhibition I told you about? An art dealer saw my work and offered me a major contract. My first gallery show opens next month. I couldn't have done it without Candy's support." Mr. Bonham's eyes widened. "So you succeeded, on your own terms." Luke nodded. Candy kissed him proudly. "I told you he would." For the first time, Mr. Bonham smiled warmly at Luke. "Welcome to the family, son." The exhibition was a success. Luke's paintings sold for thousands, and his name began spreading in the art world. Candy stood beside him at the opening, glowing with pride. Mr. Bonham, once skeptical, now introduced Luke as my son-in-law, the artist. In the end, it wasn't money or power that won the battle. It was love, persistence, and the courage to stand by what truly mattered. And as Luke held Candy's hand, he whispered, "I promised you I'd give you a life full of love. Now we'll have that life together." She smiled, eyes glistening. "That's all I ever wanted.